Welcome to GuitarControl.com. My name is Robert. I am here today to give you 3 classic Jimmy Page pentatonic licks. He has so many great ones that have become just staples over the years. So I think that it's a really good idea to get kind of a grasp on his style of approaching the pentatonics. Now, so I chose 3 licks that range in different difficulties. The first one's pretty easy lick. The second one's getting a little bit more difficult, and the final one is probably one of Jimmy's more complicated pentatonic runs that he does. But with all that being said, make sure you get the tabs, and let's go ahead and get started on the lesson. Alright, so lick number 1 is going to come at you from Since I've Been Loving You, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin tunes. And this one is, like I said, it's a very simple but powerful approach, and has this real nice slow bend in it. So we are going to be working on this one out of the key of C minor. Now if you don't know your C minor pentatonic scale, all 3 of these licks are out of box 1, just out of different keys. So box 1 would go like this, and you can see it on your screen as well. It would be 8 to 11 on the low E, 8 to 10 on the A, 8 to 10 on the D, 8 to 10 on the G, 8 to 11 on the B, and 8 to 11 on the high E. So that is your C minor pentatonic scale. So here's the lick that we're going to be going over. Now what is he doing here? So he's kind of borrowing his finger a little bit here, so we're going to play 8 on the B string, followed by 8 on the high E, so I kind of roll my finger down to get that note. Okay? So then I'm reaching up to get 11th fret on the B. Okay? Then I go back to 8th fret. Now, you could use your ring finger or your pinky there. That time I used my pinky, but a lot of times I use my ring finger because I tend to bend with my ring finger. So we have... Then you're going to go back to 11 on the B string. Now, it's a very slow bend. And what we're doing is we're bending it up to a root note. So we're bending to a C. So basically we're bending the 13th fret on the B string. So full step bend. So we have... And that is example number 1. So lick number 2 is probably Jimmy Page's most epic and famous pentatonic lick that is at the beginning of his Stairway to Heaven solo. And it's almost all pentatonic. There's one note that's not, which we will be talking about that note. But basically, it's based out of this A minor pentatonic shape, out of box 1, which goes like this. It's 5-8 on the low E, 5-7 on the A, 5-7 on the D, 5-7 on the G, 5-8 on the B, and 5-8 on the high E. Now his lick is a descending run, so you also want to be able to turn that around and play it backwards. So, what is the lick? The lick goes like this. So like I said, it's all pentatonic other than that last note. He's venturing out of the pentatonic scale a little bit. So to start the lick off, we're going to be bending 7th fret on the G up a full step. So we're going to match the pitch of an unbent 9th fret on the G. Next you're going to play 5 on the high E, 8 pull off 5 on the B. So, okay, now you're going to go to 7 on the G. So, now when you go to that 7, you're going to pull off to 5 on the G. So you're almost like walking straight down the pentatonic at this point. You're going to go to 7 on the D. Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. You have to roll your ring finger back down to that 7 on the G. Okay, so... pull back off to 5. So then you go to the D string, which is 7 to 5, and then 8 on the low E. And that's the lick. So such a great, iconic Jimmy Page lick. And that one, like I said, it's kind of A minor. Now, when he lands on this one, he goes to 8th fret on the A string, which is not part of your A minor pentatonic scale. It is part of A minor, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. For now, just know that most of those notes were right inside that pentatonic scale. So lick number 3, to me, is one of Jimmy's more challenging pentatonic licks that he does. It's in the Good Times, Bad Times solo. He kind of kicks off this run. It goes like this. And this one is out of E minor, so we're going to do the same shape that we've been doing, but now it's going to be up here at the 12th fret. So 12-15 on the low E, 12-14 on the A, 12-14 on the D, 12-14 on the G, 12-15 on the B, and 12-15 on the high E. And this is another descending one that he does. So we're going to play 12th fret on the high E string, followed by 15 pull off 12 on the B, and you're going to play 14 on the G. Okay, so let's do that again. Then you go back to 12 on the B, back to 14 on the G, back to 12 on the B. Kind of like some back and forth action here. Then you're going to go 14, pull off the 12 on the G, okay, and then 14, pull off 12 on the G again. So now you're going to go 14 on the D, you'll start to see a pattern here, 12 on the G, then you go back to the D, 14, pull off 12 twice. Now you're going to go to 14 on the A, back to 12 on the D, then you go to the A string, 14, pull off 12 twice, okay, down to 10 on the A, so 12, pull off 10 on the A, and then 12, pull off 10 on the low E. Back to 12. You might walk it up chromatically. Now, I know that we did shift out of box 1 there. For just a minute at the very end, we went to box number 5. But overall, this is all box 1. And that is the lick that he does in the Good Times, Bad Times little fill solo. Okay, thank you so much for watching. That'll do it for us here today. Make sure you go get those tabs. You'll be rocking out with those Jimmy Page licks, and I'll see you next time.